All right. What's up, everybody? How we doing? Monday Night Football. We got two games tonight, which is exciting. A doubleheader. Monday Night Football. Tonight's special guest, of course, Bridget Case. Bridget, I believe you're on mute, but how are you doing? There you go.
I'm good. Sorry, yeah, just accidentally muted myself. Probably something I should do more often in life. But yeah, just having a typical Monday. How about you?
Classic Monday. Yeah, it's been today's been fine. It's been a last couple of weeks as hopefully Bridget is still with there we go. Sorry, the screen went black for a second. The past couple of weeks, the past 2 weeks have just been brutal. I feel like I can't get any. I feel like it's either just a bad read that you just know your bet's dead from the start, or it's just a brutal beat where you're tracking, everything looks good, and then just something happens. So I'm currently in the thick of it. Over the past, like, week one was great, and then it's just been downhill from there. So it's been
Yeah,
tough. How about you?
yeah, yeah. I think week one was pretty great for both of us, and then yesterday was not tough. There were a lot of upsets yesterday, so I think
Yeah,
yesterday
a
was
lot of upsets. Yeah.
pretty. I think yesterday was tough for everybody, which made me a little skeptical of today, just because we're still in week three. So I'm a little bit nervous right now, but I think we just need to get back in the saddle and get out there.
Yeah, we need. Yeah. We'll be good. We just need to get after it. Yeah, it is a does Kirk finally show up tonight? I first I was like, Kirk Cousins doesn't play, but he's asking about Christian Kirk. Um, anyways, yeah. So we got two games tonight, which is exciting. Two games, decent. I mean, 5.5, decent spread. The other one's 7.5, but should be at least entertaining. First up, we got Jags versus Bills. In terms of the main lines, spread, total, whatever, what do you like in this one?
You know what? I think everyone's kind of forgetting that the Jags were a little bit of a different story against the Browns, but everyone forgets that the Jags were in that game against Miami in week one, and they're not as bad as we're seeing. They're not really the 0-2 team that we're seeing right now. I don't necessarily think they're going to come out and get a win against the Bills tonight, but I do have them covering because they are able to keep things a little bit closer than we remember. So I do have Trevor Lawrence and company. I'm taking him at plus 5.5.
I am in total agreement. I also have. Sorry, I was having an issue. I was looking at my
Yeah.
spreadsheet. I actually bet the Jags spread. That's 100% where I would lean. I'm debating it. I'm thinking about doing it because I'm in total agreement. I mean, that game against the against the Dolphins, like, they were winning by, I think they're winning by 14.
Yeah.
And then Travis Etienne fumbled at the 1 yard line
Yep.
when he was about to score into the end zone. The next play, literally the first play that the Dolphins had, an 80-yard touchdown to Tyreek Hill.
Mhm.
Like
We haven't really seen that Tyreek Hill since, but yeah.
No, we haven't. I mean, poor Tua, because he doesn't have his quarterback.
Yeah.
Which obviously is brutal. But yeah, I mean, like, it's just, and that's what it is with the NFL. Like, you can make the same argument with the Eagles last week. Like, Saquon Barkley catches the ball, and the total talk in Philadelphia is different. But the thing is, like, those things happen. Like, the Eagles defense blew it.
Right.
They did give up the 80-yard touchdown to Tyreek Hill, and then they blew it after that. So, like, there's two sides to every coin.
It would have been a different conversation if Bijan Robinson had gotten over the inches last night. So
yeah, exactly. Or like if the refs call, like, it probably should have been pass interference. It wasn't called, whatever. Yeah, I am in total agreement. It's just like the beginning of the season, I was just talking about this. Like, you can't just trust the data that you have through 2 weeks and then be like, okay, like, I'm making, and that's tough for me as, like, I'm rooted in data. That's like it's like part of the reason I think why I've been struggling so much is I've been too backwards facing and not enough forwards facing. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But this is just a Jaguars spot, and it's not because of, like, they're due or whatever. It's the Bills sandwiched in between last week, a huge game against Miami. It's the Bills next week playing in Baltimore. Like, they have these letdown spots, and the Jaguars, as brutal as they looked last week, they are, I forget the exact stat, but they're like, they have a high percentage of their among the league leaders in explosive plays, like 20+ yard plays. They just can't sustain drives, which eventually that's going to kind of swing the other way. And we haven't really seen the Bills be that tested yet. Like, they were down early against the Cardinals. But like, yeah, but that was a weird game. It was windy, and then they came back, and then they just caught fire in the second half. Like, Josh Allen's thrown like 18 passes, like at most, in the first two games. Like, he hasn't had to do anything. And I have a hard time seeing that continue. And the Jags defense has also been pretty good. Like, they 10th fewest rushing yards, 7th fewest yards per carry. Their defense has been solid. Granted, like last week, Deshaun Watson makes anybody look good. But yeah, either way, I didn't actually bet the Jaguars. I might do it. That's where I'm leaning. I honestly think they could win straight up. Like, I don't think that's a terrible, like, you want to bet their money line?
No, I don't think it's a terrible bet at all. I really don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
If anything, yeah, because what's it at?
176.
176 right now, plus 176. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I think that's a solid look. In terms of the total, I didn't touch it. You had anything on the total?
No. Nope.
I know you probably like the under. You have your primetime unders. Cool. All right. Well, that was quick. Yeah. I mean, it's easy when we both agree. In terms of player props, anytime touchdowns, whatever, what do you have in this one?
You know what? Dalton Kincaid, I think, is really, he's about to find himself. He is in like, for wide receivers and tight ends, I just feel like Dalton Kincaid never gets the respect that he deserves. And I feel like he's about to just completely bloom. The Cardinals kind of had him read, I think, in week 1. And last week, obviously, he got injured. But I think the Bills know that they need him. So I am actually on Dalton Kincaid over on receiving yards.
Okay.
I just clicked out of here.
I like it.
So, yeah.
Dalton Kincaid, 34.5.
34.5. It was, and I actually saw it higher earlier. So it is creeping down a little bit, but I still like it here. So, but I would even go as far to pair him with an anytime touchdown. I think he is a favorite target of Josh Allen's, even though my favorite anytime touchdown is a Josh Allen anytime.
Of course, yeah.
Allen touchdown. But I mean, I don't think it's insane to completely go here. I mean, I read a stat like, okay, I think like there was a really interesting stat. Oh, here I found it. It was Dalton Kincaid has the lowest air yards per target, minus 0.3 of any wide receiver or tight end in the league, but he has run 26 out of 36 route from the slot, and his 1.7 yards per route run puts him in the neighborhood of Devonta Smith and Cooper Kupp at 1.9. So Jacksonville ranks in the bottom half of the NFL in EPA allowed from the slot and is third worst in yards after catch over expected for slot targets. So I am here for the Dalton Kincaid show tonight.
I like it. I feel like I was on him in week 1 and feel like I just got burned. And it's like, I'm not ready to go back.
Yet.
Yeah, to go back to that. Well, I didn't bet him today. I mean, for your sake, I hope the bet wins. I hope he has a relatively quiet game because I think next week he's going to blow up because they play the Ravens and the Ravens, everybody can pass on them.
Yes.
So like I've targeted him for next week. I just hope that he does. Like if he goes off like a Dallas Goedert type game, which someone in the comments mentioned, like if that happens, then the odds are going to be too nuked and it's going to be too obvious. But I like it. I mean, he had a really quiet week 1, as you mentioned, and then week 2. Like the first 2 plays of the game, they like made it a point to get the ball to Dalton Kincaid, and then he got hurt, and then the game was a blowout. So like he never really had a chance to do anything. Yeah, I like that. And the anytime touchdown, if you're for those of you who want to tail, plus 260. So you're getting a really good price on that.
That's why I like it too. I mean, I look there and I'm like, there's great considerable value there between him and Khalil Shakir. Khalil Shakir is one of my favorite Bills to target. I usually actually go with him on receptions, which right now, let me go back. So his receptions line I love at over 3.5 is at minus 146. It's not like tremendous value or anything, but Khalil Shakir is kind of one of those guys that I swear rides under the radar on the books. So I would even go as far to pump this up. But
there you go. Now you're speaking my language.
I know, right? Or what? Wait, what do you say?
That's it. Pumped up props. You had it right.
You got it right. So yeah, I love me a pumped up props. If you want to pump it up to over 5, so basically over 4.5, that's at plus 140 on FanDuel.
Yeah, that's where I would lean. You just like it's just a better price. And at the end of the day, like you'll for every bet you like he lands on exactly 4. I think it's just worth it to play the better price. I like that. I mean, he's just like he's not someone that, like you said, he's not like going to score a lot, but he's a consistent target, and Josh Allen trusts him. So like his receptions are probably going to be pretty solid. And like to that point, like he's plus 280 to score. I would much rather go with Dalton Kincaid at 260 or like Keon Coleman at plus 310 personally. I didn't bet any of those, but
no, I mean, I feel like I'm still like learning Keon Coleman, but I'm with you. I like it.
Yeah, he seems like a fun guy. Easy to root for. All right. So yeah, I love the Kincaid one. I love the Shakir one. I have two in this game. And then we'll get there's a bunch of comments that that we'll get to. I just wanted to get through our thoughts first. I took James Cook 20 plus receiving yards.
Ooh.
I don't think FanDuel is offering the 20 plus number. I think you can only get, yeah. So if you're betting this on FanDuel, I would take the 25 plus at plus 142. Some other places you might be able to get the 20 plus.
Well, it just went down to plus 138, but yeah, so I would get in there if you want to.
They're watching.
So, yeah, they know.
Yeah, they're watching. Yeah, so I liked his receiving yards last week, and even though he didn't hit it, that game, the Bills-Dolphins game last week was like basically a blowout from the jump. Like the only drive that actually mattered, the first drive, they scored on a screen kind of wheel route to James Cook on fourth down. And that was like when the score was like 0-0 or 3-0 or something. It was like they made it a point to get him the ball when the game was close in the air. And then Tua interception, James Cook rushing touchdown, Tua interception, James Cook long rushing touchdown, Tua pick six, game's over. Like they never got a chance.
This was the day that you were all not on James Cook too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. That's correct. Yeah, I made it a point to say how I didn't like him to score, and then he scored 3 times.
We were laughing so hard during the stream. I mean, it was
that's
we were
right.
All like, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, that guy!"
I forgot I went on your stream. Yeah, that's the tough part about this business is you call your shot on some predictions, and like when they blow up spectacularly in your face, it's like, man, that hurt.
Yeah, no, totally. It can be rough. I was really proud. This is unrelated, but you guys trust Matt. That was the only one weird night. So please trust Matt. But last night I got the exact score prediction of
of
Eagles Falcons.
Last week.
Oh, sorry, not Falcons. Oh my God, who? New Orleans.
Eagles Saints.
Thank you. Yes, Eagles Saints. I got 15.
You had 15-12. Right?
Yeah, and I knew, and yeah, so I was like very, very pumped, and so that never happens ever. But like in our FanDuel chat, it was like, "Oh, Bridget, great prediction."
Yeah, I mean, you see when for all the bad ones, when you have a good one like that, it deserves.
So that's gonna happen for you tonight. So I'm feeling that with you and James Cook.
That's what I need. Because like I said, it's just been a brutal stretch. But yeah, the James Cook receiving yards. The other play that I like, and I just locked, I didn't put it on YouTube. I locked it in after the fact, and my computer won't load, but it's Brenton Strange 4+ receptions. So I got it at FanDuel at plus 146. I want to see if that's still the price, because you have to, technically his main line is 3 or 2.5, so you have to just
2.5 minus 152. Yeah,
so plus 148.
Yeah,
plus 148 at FanDuel.
Yeah,
might be able to get it better somewhere else, but yeah, it's the tight end position for Doug Peterson and for Trevor Lawrence. Last year, Evan Ingram had the second most receptions by tight end in a single season ever, literally ever.
Wow.
And the only player above him was Zach Ertz. The commonality between Evan Ingram and Zach Ertz, they both played under Doug Peterson when they had that record. He loves throwing to the tight end. And last week, Ingram pulls his hammy in pregame warmups. Like you throw out almost like, obviously you have to have like plan Bs. I can't think of the word I'm looking for, but like contingency plans was what I'm looking for. Yeah. Plan B means a totally different thing for a lot of people. You have to have a contingency plan, and it's just like that happening in pregame is weird. And Brenton Strange still had 7 targets. He had 3 receptions, and like I said, they just love passing to the tight end. And the Bills have banged up linebackers, and they allowed Jonnu Smith to have a ton of yards against them in last week. And then week 1, Trey McBride didn't have a lot of yards, but he had a lot of receptions. So you can target the Bills with your tight end. So I think Brenton Strange is going to have a big game. Again, the 4+ receptions is where I got him at. Cool. All right. A couple questions. I'm not trusting Christian Kirk, and I'm not trusting any receiver in that Jags passing game. I don't know if you have any different thoughts.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah. Anthony agrees with us on the Dalton Kincaid, agrees with you, I should say, on the Dalton Kincaid touchdown. Yeah, we'll talk about this game, Mike Lowry, but yeah, tough look for at least you got the win last week. So yeah, not 0-2.
He's correct on the desperate. That's why I think the Bengals will win tonight, is they are desperate.
Yeah, they need it. JM likes the Bills 28-24. So I guess that is Jags covering. So we'll take that.
Yeah, that is Jags covering. Yeah.
This is another. So we have two dueling comments. Shakir touchdown, fade Brian Thomas Jr. But then Jeff says fade Shakir, Brian Thomas Jr. touchdown. So are you team Joe or are you team Jeff?
I love it.
A little bit of rivalry going on here. The Trevor Lawrence anytime, you're probably getting a really good price on that. Like those are always tough because they're just like, it's just so
it's hit or
random.
miss with him.
Yeah. But like he's plus 420. It's not terrible. Allen's rushing yards. Yeah, not bad. I
probably will take that for funsies.
Just because it's fun to root for.
Yeah.
Let's see the price. 32.5. It's not terrible.
No, it's actually not.
I don't know how the Jags are against quarterback rushing, if they're good or bad.
That's kind of my thing. I'm on no sleep and just got back from TwitchCon, so like I didn't have as much time today to like work on all my research, which is I was gonna kind of do right before stream. So that was where I was gonna sit with his rushing yards. Was I was gonna take a little more time on that.
Yeah, there you go. That makes sense. Yeah, I wouldn't play the rushing yards. I'm saving Josh Allen for next week against the Ravens. I think that's gonna. I think this just screams weird game for the Bills. That's like the last two times they played the Jags, like they lost to the Jags when Urban Meyer was their head coach.
Right.
I know this means nothing now. Then last
the Bills
year
they've been through the weirdest shiz. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they don't. I don't know. They don't just deserve that. They're gonna just take care of business, just because they're big favorites and they're at home. All right. Anything left for this game, or are you ready to move on?
I am ready to move along.
All right. Next up, we have Commanders versus Bengals. Mike Lowry's Commanders not excited about playing a desperate Bengals team. Main line. Anything you like in this one? Spread, total, money line?
Not really.
Not even a lean. I mean, I don't blame you.
Not really. Maybe Bengals covering at -7.5.
That's where I would lean. I'm definitely not going to bet it. I'd love to get it at 7 instead of 7.5.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's not available. So yeah, I also would probably actually kind of like an under in this one.
Okay.
I'm not betting.
Always love a Monday night under. So
yeah. I mean, it hit last week. I didn't play anything on the main line in this one. There's too much unknown. Like I don't love backing teams that are desperate because sometimes desperation turns into like forcing it, and you play your hand a little bit too much. So yeah, we're kind of in agreement here. In terms of the player props, what do you like in this one?
I think that the Bengals are going to play desperately and explosively. That I think Jaden Daniels is going to get a little desperate and just be running the crap out of everything himself. So what did I come across? So obviously he had 40 yards on the ground last week, and that came after. So it was 88 yards on those keepers in game one.
Yep.
So Cincinnati's defense has given up the sixth most rushing yards to opposing quarterbacks in 2023, and so far in 2024 is giving up 30.5. So I think that the Bengals, obviously with a tough running quarterback, I think that's the area that they do get exposed. And so I have Jaden Daniels. I think it's at 48.5.
Yeah, that's right.
48.5 at -110. So I like Daniels to run over on rushing yards.
I like it. Yeah, I mean he's been running the ball a ton, and like when you're a young quarterback and you're like not super confident in what you're doing,
you also like aren't afraid yet, and you don't quite know what you're. Who was it that we were all yelling at like to freaking slide? Oh, that was Tua.
Yeah. It's tough.
I still think of him as young, but
at least Jane Daniels is significantly faster than Tua, and does not have nearly the issues that
not
Tua
as much
has.
of the risk.
I was looking at Brian Robinson Jr. rushing yards.
Ooh.
This one I didn't bet. I've been waffling on it all day. So I would take him at 60 plus just to pump that up, get a little bit better price. 60 plus is plus 108 at FanDuel. The Bengals just have like their rushing defense has been bad for 2 years now. Week 1, they got smoked by Ramondre Stevenson. Last week, they gave up 90 yards to Pacheco before Pacheco got hurt. I mean, like, and they were able to stop him on money downs. But I think the Bengals defense is like they're a run funnel. They're like, if you're going to run on first and second down and get like 4 yards a pop, that's fine because we'll stop you when it matters. That's kind of their bend but don't break running funnel type of defense.
Right.
And Brian Robinson Jr. has been really good. And running back rush yards with the rushing quarterback, like you're always going to be more efficient than not because teams have to worry about the quarterback rushing. So that's always going to be kind of an angle there. Again, I didn't bet it. The only one that I actually bet is Jamar Chase receiving yards.
It's okay, that's so funny because I'm on Jamar Chase receptions.
Okay, there we go. I hope both of us win. It's just like it just screams smash spot for Jamar Chase. Like I took him at his main line, which FanDuel has at 79.5. And then I took 3 other plays. I put a half unit on him, 90 plus, which FanDuel has at plus 130. And then I put a quarter unit at 100 plus and another quarter unit on 110 plus. Like it just screams smash spot, screams get right game, squeaky wheel, gets the oil, everything for Jamar Chase and against a horrible Commanders defense. Yeah.
Oh, horrible. And I think like maybe the only reason people are skeptical is because of T. Higgins coming back. But I'm right there with you. And I liked receptions because you're getting over, if you take the over 6.5, you're getting it is at plus 110. So you're getting plus money and I like it.
Yeah. Gotta love that. Yeah. 7's not that bad.
No.
Yeah. I mean like, and you can kind of explain away the slow start for Chase. A, he missed all of training camp. So like he wasn't practicing.
Yes.
B, the Patriots week 1, like it's a new coaching staff, whatever, but the Patriots thing is like, don't let the number 1 option beat you. Right. And the Bengals offense always just starts super slow. Laughing at a comment. I'm still in the chat. We don't have to add that many horribles. Sorry. We call it like we see it. Week 2, Trent McDuffie, like the Chiefs also shut down the opposing team's number 1 wide receiver. Zay Flowers had a bunch of receptions for no yards in week 1. Jamar Chase did nothing against him in week 2. And then last night, Drake London scored on that clear miscommunication. But he had like 20 something receiving yards heading into the last 2 drives for the Falcons. And then he got over 40 on the last 2 drives combined, which like the game still mattered, but was like a little bit more of a prevent defense thing.
Right.
So either way, the Chiefs defense, not the Commanders defense. And the Commanders defense last year was the 4th worst team against opposing number 1 wide receivers. This year, they're dead last against, according to DVOA. The 32nd ranked defense, according to DVOA, 32nd ranked passing defense. And then again, 32nd ranked team against number 1 targets. And look what Malik Neighbors did to them last week. Everybody knew the ball was going to Malik Neighbors. He had 65% of the target share and they still couldn't stop him. I think it's going to be the same thing for Jamar Chase. So I think he's, like I said, he's due for a blow-up game. The receptions, I love it. Ladder that bad boy up to 10. Yards, I laddered him up, pumped it up to 110 plus. And then I also think like a first touchdown at plus 700. Why not?
Yeah, why not? Oh, I love it.
Yeah. All right. So we're aligned on a lot of stuff today. Chase 2 touchdowns. I don't hate that either. Let's see what we can get that price at. 2 touchdowns plus 700. So first touchdown and 2 touchdowns are both plus 700 for Jamar Chase. Apparently Ohio has a booster, plus 150 for Chase, 50 receiving yards, and Joe Burrow 2 passing touchdowns. The only thing that makes me nervous is the Joe Burrow 2 passing touchdowns. Because like in the off chance that he gets like tackled at the 1 and some weird stuff, you know what I mean? That stuff always makes me nervous.
Yep.
Mike Lowry likes Noah Brown. Receptions over 1.5. I love it. I mean, a sneaky play like that. It's 1.5 is super low. And that is at I'm looking at over 1.5 receptions is minus 118. So not a terrible price. Chase or Higgins, could be both. Moss and Higgins for anytime touchdowns. Yeah, if you want to zag, I don't hate. Like if you think that they are just good, like especially when they get close to the red zone, that they're just going to bracket Chase, I don't hate. zagging with Moss and Higgins. And I guess did you have any anytime touchdowns in this one?
I actually didn't. I
Yeah,
thought that
I
this
didn't.
was just going to be kind of a weird game, and so I didn't feel confidence there.
Yeah, I didn't have an anytime touchdown played either game tonight. I just none of them really. I just went to one more with the yards plays.
Yeah.
Chase will feed generations.
If anything, I maybe would go Jaden Daniels anytime touchdown at plus 160.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad.
Pair it with the rushing yards. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah, I probably will take Jamar Chase first touchdown plus 700.
Yeah.
I think that's what I think I probably will take that. But yeah, and then guess what? This is a parlay for King J. I love your avatar. I can't even tell what is that trait. I can't even tell what player that is. It's like Bryce. Is that Bryce Harper? It looks like it, but anyways, yeah, I like that. Cool. All right. Anything else you have for this game?
That's it. All I was also going to tell you was I saw your favorite. It's not anime. It's what is it called again?
Oh, Naruto.
Yeah. Your shirt. I saw someone wearing your shirt yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess at TwitchCon.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
It makes so much sense at TwitchCon. Yeah.
That makes a lot of. Yeah, no, that is an anime. It is an anime.
Okay, it is anime. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're good. That's awesome. I wish I was friends with that person.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, Bridget, do you want to tell the people where they can find you?
Yeah, I'll actually be live tonight on Twitch for both Monday night games. Twitch.tv/Bridget Case, or you can just go to my social media, Bridget Case, BRIDGETCASE. It's in the chat. You should be able to find me, but and my Twitch is connected there. But I'm live for pretty much every single NFL game, and we bet during every game. So if you want to come sweat your bets out live with other people, that's the place to be.
There you go. Yeah, I'm on there from time to time.
Yeah,
great stream, great community. Sweating out bets live. And real quick, not on Knox for me. No. I think we're kind of both more on Kincaid. But I put her Twitch channel in the chat, so make sure everybody go follow her there. Cool. All right. Well, Bridget, as always, appreciate you for joining us. Everybody, appreciate you for tuning in. Let's all win our bets tonight.